So, did you watch the Madigan documentary yet?
Not yet, but I have. Now that's another homework assignment you're giving me. I don't have time for this. I have people coming in to watch the Cubs game at a bar.
I will flunk you.
I'm going to call racism on you.
You have to read Killer Angels and provide a book report on the Gettysburg, the Battle of Gettysburg, and all related issues. You have to do.
9 a.m. tomorrow morning?
9 a.m. tomorrow. And then you have to watch the Madigan documentary. It's an hour.
Okay.
It's a quick watch. Speaking of Madigan, for you Cubs fans, most of whom are Democrats, Mike Madigan, the House Speaker there, 40 years in General Assembly, 30 years as House Speaker, lording over supermajorities in both chambers, thanks to all you Cubs fans. Turns out he's a bit of an anti-Cubite.
Oh, no, why?
That's his history. A great piece, IllinoisPolicy.org, How Madigan Left the Cubs in the Dark by Joe Kaiser, who, by the way, produces our Sunday show, Illinois Rising. The Tribune Company purchased the team in 1981. A push to illuminate Wrigley Field began with pressure from Major League Baseball. And so they went to go through the city council to try and get approval for the installation of lights. But Ed Verdoliak, an alderman at the time, and the city council president and chairman of the Cook County Democratic Party, fought the Cubs because the Tribune Company was writing mean editorials about him. No lights for you. And he was successful, 42-2 vote to ban lights in Wrigley in 1983. Then the Tribune Company proceeded to try and get approval through the General Assembly in Springfield. And guess who rode to Ed Verdoliak's aid?
Let me guess, Mike Madigan.
One House Speaker, Mike Madigan. And he worked to block the override of the Democrat Party leaders, and was successful in 1985, less than a year after the Cubs' lightless World Series fiasco that almost happened, if they not collapsed in 1984. It's interesting. The override failed, according to the Tribune incumbent lobbyist at the time. Certainly, House Speaker Mike Madigan's consistent and persistent opposition to any limited schedule of night baseball games during any regular season games doomed the effort. In an editorial the Tribune wrote in 1985, they opined, Mr. Madigan made sure the Cubs weren't successful in getting the state legislature to override the city ordinance preventing the Cubs from installing lights and playing some night baseball in Wrigley. Mr. Madigan and his law firm represent a lot of people who end up doing business with state government. Largely because of the vacuum of leadership in Springfield, Mr. Madigan has obtained a position of extraordinary power in the legislature. You come by him or you don't get by, and if your cause happens to conflict with that of someone closer to him than you are, forget it. And 30 years later, not much has changed, except the Cubs ultimately got the lights when Verdoliak switched parties and ended his political career in the late 80s. Just a little history there, the politics of it. So your Democrats like a Mike Madigan, your Democrat alderman Tom Tunney, who's shaking down the Ricketts family, trying to renovate the stadium and the surrounding area with their own money and getting hassled by City Hall. I just want to make sure all you Democrat Cubs fans know how the Democrats have treated your beloved Cubbies. All right.
You feel better now.
I do.
You cleanse your palate?
Now you want to know why I'm a Sox fan and why I'm rooting for the Tribe.
Now I want to know why this is
and why I'm not cashing in my IRA to buy Cubs tickets, because that's what it's going to take, apparently. For more on the price of tea in China and seats at Wrigley, we're now joined by Steve Buzil. He is the ticket broker, the founder and president of SitClose.com. Steve, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right, so I'm angling for the $1 million seat if it's still available. But give us a little thumbnail sketch of the prices if you want to try and get to one of the Cubs World Series games at Wrigley and you don't have a lot of VIP friends like Amy.
Well, she's a nice friend to have, by the way.
Thank you.
The prices right now are way too high. They're 30-40% above where the market should be. People are asking $2,500 for standing rooms. That market will come down and start trading at about $1,500, $1,000 to $1,500. You'll be able to buy seats at $2,000, $2,500. You know, something upstairs. Bleachers are probably going to be $3,000, $4,000. Club boxes are going to be $7,000 to $10,000. The club boxes are the first 10 rows. Nobody's paying $15,000, $20,000, $30,000. Unless they're complete goofs.
Well, yeah, I mean, and that's true because I saw right after they won, they were selling seats down low, in the club box for $22,000, and they had like 8 left in this certain section. I mean, has anybody been dumb enough, honestly, to buy them right now? I mean, not knowing that the prices will gradually drop.
But if they are, I would love to sell them those tickets.
Yeah, sure.
They're asking those prices. Those people are just they're on a fishing expedition. They're throwing out the lure if somebody's going to bite, so they'll give up one game, which will pay for their whole season plus.
Right.
So that's what's going on over there. Nobody's paying those kind of numbers.
All right. So when are the prices going to drop? I mean, say if we lose or we split the series 1-1.
Well, wait a second. How about before that? When are they going to drop for game 3? Right.
Right. I'm saying if they split or if
I see.
Indians.
Yeah.
So when's a good time to buy? Because everyone's always asking, when should we do it? When should we do it?
I would wait till at least Thursday,
Okay.
Thursday for sure. That market will start correcting itself. I mean, they have to do something with those tickets. This is, what people forget is this is a global event. It's not only Chicago. People in Atlanta, they're not going to pay prices because the Cubs haven't been there for such a long time. This market will start correcting itself. It'll start on Wednesday, especially, God forbid if we lose two. Then it's really going to crash the market. But that's not going to happen. If we split, the market will start creeping down. What the game that will start being affected is that if one of them becomes a clincher for the Cubs,
sure,
that game is going to go up.
And hopefully that'll be game 6.
Common sense.
Now, Steve, are you monitoring Chicago City aldermen trying to sell their tickets so that you can rat them out and they can go to prison?
No, I try to stay away from politics. It's never been good to me. So I'm running as far as I can from that.
There you go.
Staying away from the aldermen.
So if you really want to see a World Series game, what I'm doing, I'm going to Cleveland for Game 6. Hopefully there will be a Game 6 and bought them a long time ago. Don't you think it's cheaper if Cub fans really want to see them than to just drive 5 hours and buy a ticket there? What are their prices going for right now?
Let me tell you, that's exactly what you should do. You could rent a limo. You could rent a jet and get tickets for less than what you're going to pay in Chicago. Tickets there are half the price, maybe 3/4 of the price of what they are here.
So the average ticket there, like for a seat, not standing room only, the average ticket there is what? Rough numbers? What's the compare?
I'd say the average ticket there is probably $2,500 to $3,000. The average ticket here is probably $7,000, $7,500. But again, what's truly going to happen here is the trades are going to be 90% of the trades are going to be between $2,500 and $6,500. That's every year, for every World Series. That's the average. Now it could be a little above average because it's the Cubs. Chicago has, it's a good money market, so it might be 10%, 15% higher than the norm. But that's what it is every year, year in and year out. We're
talking to Steve Buzil. He's founder and president of the ticket brokerage firm sitclose.com. And Steve, what about that $1 million seat that's getting so much attention? Has Billy Corgan already bought it, or do I have a chance?
No, I thought you were bidding for that.
Well, I've got a GoFundMe page up, so yeah, I'm working on it.
You better get more than one.
So you've been a ticket broker a long time.
Wait, where's the $1 million seat? I want the answer.
Well, there's someone who's selling $1 million seat in the bleachers.
$1 million seat is my lounge chair right in front of the TV at the house.
Yeah, that's a fishing expedition as well. So
he wouldn't be saying that if he had control of that $1 million seat and was trying to sell it.
No, that was a big joke. All right, so you've been a ticket broker for a real long time. Have you ever seen anything this crazy in your life?
No, you know what? I have. I've lived through the Michael Jordan days, so that was pretty, spectacular as well. This is the next best thing to the Michael Jordan era.
Really, it's not better than that?
I'm sorry?
It's not better than the Michael Jordan era?
Come on,
the Cubs going to the World Series after 71 years?
Let me say this. Let's say it's equivalent, okay? I don't say it's better because those years, they were coming from all over the world to see Michael Jordan, from everywhere. But, again, I don't want to burst your bubble. If you want it to be the best thing, it is.
What a salesman. Hey, Steve, let me ask you a question. I assume you've done this, but just to ask, have you done an econometric analysis of the tickets in 1908 and 1948 for the two respective World Series adjusting for inflation to give us a true market value and an assessment of price inflation over the last 108 years.
Oh, you know what? Can I get back to you on that one? I have to talk to my number one economist.
See what I have to
early
deal
in the
with?
morning, you want to pull that. Very nice.
You get to hang up the phone. I stay for 4 hours a day.
Exactly, yeah. See, it could be a lot worse,
You're
Steve.
a brave woman, Amy. A brave woman.
No question. She's a saint. All right, Steve Buzil, ticket broker, founder and president of sitclose.com. Sitclose.com is the website to watch the market trends and pick up some reasonably priced World Series tickets.
And again, the
two to what did you say? 3, 6 to 8,000. What's the numbers?
Yeah, it's 2,500 to 6,500.
That's the sweet spot.
The trades are going to happen.
All right.
And then we should go Wednesday or Thursday is the best time to buy.
Absolutely, 100%.
All right, Steve Buzil, sitclose.com. Steve, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
You're listening